Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. Shabbat shalom. This is the Hebrew Life again. I'm Beis Jerusalem, and I'm back with another lesson. Been gone for a while, family. I've been moving, but it's the Shabbat. I finally get the rest, and I want to elaborate on this lesson today. We're going to call this lesson Unclean Foods and Products and How to Pray and Research when Dealing with it. So we're going to call this Pray and Research and How to Avoid Unclean Foods and Products. Now, when you get in this walk of being an Israelite, a Hebrew Israelite, you have to come out the world. And one of those things when you come out this world is getting your dietary laws in proper check. That means avoiding unclean foods such as pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, and other little foods, but those are the main foods that we need to avoid as being a Hebrew. Now, the wicked thing about this is in the land of our captivity, the heathens and the Gentiles who dabble in eating these unclean meats put them in foods that we don't expect. Now, when we come from trying to eat these foods, we think it's simple as ABC and avoiding just the meat portion of the food. But we have to read and research, read labels, and do extra thorough research, being a Hebrew Israelite, that others wouldn't have to do. Because, when you don't follow the laws of Yah, then you can eat whatever you want to eat. And there's no problem with it. You can eat and drink and do whatever you want to do and live loosely. But when you get rules, you become a Hebrew Israelite, now you have to start checking things. We're going to start off like when you go out to eat or something. Everybody, I'm pretty sure people go out to eat still. Now, it's different when you go out to eat when you're a Hebrew, because now you have to ask questions. Now you have to ask, does that come with pork? Or, in my instance, I went to Olive Garden one day and I ordered something simple like some spaghetti or something, and me giving the restaurant the benefit of the doubt, thinking, okay, they can't be putting pork in spaghetti. It has to be beef, tomatoes, and pasta. I was mistakenly wrong. I was completely wrong. The meat they were putting inside the spaghetti was pork. Now most people aren't going to ask this. Now, you can't be ashamed to ask questions. You can't be ashamed to look different when you out here in the public. When you go places, don't be ashamed to ask, what does it have in it? It's their job to tell you. You shouldn't feel ashamed for being aware. Most people don't ask. They'll let you know you're coming into a new light and Yah's with you. And these laws is going to better you physically and spiritually. A lot of foods we eat, such as pork, it kills us spiritually. Not only physically, with all the diseases and bad health benefits it comes with, but it also comes with bad spiritual benefits. We have to research and read labels. I don't know how much I could stress this enough. It's a few pages out there that promotes getting away from these unclean foods. We might have to start eating more cleaner, looking more towards vegetarian and vegan products, organic products. There's going to be a link in the description with a few people who touch over the situation, so us Hebrews can get an idea of what products are out there. We're not closed in the box where everybody eats pork and everybody eats unclean foods and they put them in every product, candy and all kind of products that will blow your mind. But we have a lane. The Most High is not going to leave us out to the point where we can't follow His laws. Now, it might be harder. It might cost a little more to follow His laws, but true enough, we can follow His laws. We just going to have to do thorough research and thorough searching to find what we need to eat clean out here. When you see foods and it has the U on the back, that means kosher. We need to keep our eye open for things like this. We cannot eat everything everybody else eats. We cannot take word of mouth that he say and she say when it comes to our dietary laws. We could very well be eating some unclean. Now, if you're a Hebrew, I'm pretty sure you ate something unclean before, unknowingly, and after you ate it, you were upset that you ate it. You felt bad. This is going to happen. We're not going to let this discourage us from staying on the track of eating clean and keeping the dietary laws of Yah that He gave us in the first 5 books of Moshe. Now we're gonna go to the book of Maccabees today in the Apocrypha to elaborate on this unclean meats thing, because unclean meats and these customs and these ways of putting these unclean products on a plate and inside of products, hair products, several other products. Like I said, it's going to be a link in the description. It's a sister. Her name is the Queen of Vegan Soul Food. I found her page very helpful in going through various products, food and cosmetics and lotions and care products and several other products, letting us know what's clean and what's not clean. And there's several other brothers and sisters out there that's doing diligent work trying to let the masses know that what they put on the counters in front of you might not be the best choice. Now we're going to go to the book of Maccabees to open this up, because we got to understand who we're dealing with. We're dealing with a Gentile heathen nation whose customs haven't changed, and there's not going to change. The only customs who change is our customs and indulging in what they do. It's not in our blood, and it's not in us to do these things. We have been taught these things. We have been these problems and these sins have been institutionalized in our people through slavery and through living in other countries and living as another country instead of living as Israel and following the laws Yah gave us. Now we're gonna start this at First Maccabees. I'm gonna start at verse 11, so we can get an idea, because we seem to be in these same times where us as Israel is in another country, or we're under another government, and we seem to be following the customs of that government instead of standing tall and diligent in what we already have been given, and that's the laws of Yah. Let me read. It said, "In those days went out there of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make us a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have so much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were forward herein, and they went to the king, who gave them the license to do after the ordinance of the heathen." So as you see, you had Israelites in these days of the days of Maccabees going to the king of Rome and the king of Greece and these heathen kings asking for licenses to live and do as they did. Let's continue to read. Now, that seems like these people who are in these groups, these NAWs, ACP groups, all these groups that's supposed to be better in the community, but nothing seems to be getting done. See, they just want to live like the heathen and had a luxury of living like their oppressors. It's an Uncle Tom mindset when you think about it. It said, "Then certain of the people were forward herein, that they went to the king." Hold up, I already read that. "Whereupon they built places of exercise at Jerusalem according to their customs of the heathen." Now you have all these people doing customs of the heathen. Let's keep reading. We're going to jump to verse 43. It said, "Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Shabbat. For the king has sent letters by the messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, that they should profane the Shabbats and the festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people." I'm going to start right there, because it's finna get real interesting. Now you see that they're trying to force their laws on us. Just now, it's crazy that they have to force their laws on us in these days. Because these days, our people willingly do it. Our people willingly eat pork. Our people willingly eat shrimp. And you gotta know what's something up with it, because they put it all on TVs and all in front of you. And so you gotta understand that there's something up with this. That they will put this right in front of you. as a first option. We got to learn as Hebrews not to take the first option or the second and to do our own research. You will feel spiritually and physically better eating the proper foods that you're supposed to be eating versus eating unclean foods and having a unstable mind in which you're eating and living like any other heathen around here. Now let's continue to read. It says, and set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. There you go right there. Now you got people trying to sacrifice swine's flesh. This is a custom of the heathen. This is what the heathen does. They eat swine's flesh. They eat shrimp. These are the foods they dabble in. They didn't have the laws of Yaakov coming out of Egypt. They didn't have the laws of Israel. So they continue to live like heathens and continue to eat unclean meats, not knowing they're unclean. This is part of their custom, but it's not a part of ours. We're not supposed to let their custom override ours. Let's continue to read. And to the end that they might forget the law, this is verse 49, and change all the ordinances, and whoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. In the self-same manner, he wrote this to the whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judea to sacrifice city by city. Now he didn't put out the king to put out this decree because these sellout Israelites that came to him wanting to live as the heathens. So not a king that allowed them to put out a decree trying to basically ban what we do in Israel and say it's against the law. Let's continue to read, because this is what's going to happen in the soon future. These Gentiles and these heathens are not going to change in how they deal with Israel. And wheresoever was, if this is verse 57, I'm gonna jump down. And wheresoever was found with any book of the testament or of any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put him to death. This is the circumstances we was dealing with, and these are the circumstances we're still living with. We could be put to death for following these laws. We could be put to death for following the Hamashiach. That's going through the fire. If you in this and you're not willing to die, you in the wrong game. Because they killed the family of brothers for not eating pork. So this is serious. This is serious. We're dealing with our own salvation. We cannot reach the Elohim with an unclean temple. And they know that. They know if they feed us swine, shrimp, and several other unclean beasts, that the Most High is not going to be with us. And they know this is going to keep us down and away from our power. I'm going to continue to read, because this is serious. Verse 63. It says, wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not defile with meats, that they might not profane the holy covenant, so then they died. And there was a very great wrath upon Israel. Our brothers and sisters chose to die before they ate swine's flesh. It was a non-compromising type of thing. We have to keep that spirit. Well, we'll rather die. That's how you have to feel when you're searching for foods that's clean. We'll rather die than eat unclean foods. So if I would rather take death than to eat unclean foods, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do in my power to not be eating unclean foods. I'm gonna do as much research as I need to do to find out I'm not eating unclean foods or giving unclean foods to my children or giving unclean foods to myself. We must know what's on our plate. And even after we know what's on our plate and they say it's clean, we must still pray over it. Because these heathens and the higher powers are going to put particles of pork and try to put it in everything. So we must still pray that the Most High take the impurities out of the food that they tell us is clean, that still may not be clean in certain ways. We must pray and we must research when it comes to our dietary laws in this captivity, because our back is against the wall when it comes to the situation. I'm Base Jerusalem. This is the Hebrew Life. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom.